It is Boomer and Gio on the Fan across the country on CBS Sports Network. He's here.
This is not going to go well.
I know.
I have a feeling.
I already looked at him, and he's just one of those guys that looks like a good guy, too.
Yes.
I don't want this to happen, because I know what's going to happen. He's going to walk out of here, and I'm going to like him. I don't want to like him. Chase Utley, and Chase is here representing the Scottsfield Refurbishment Program, which is renovating youth baseball and softball fields across the country. And he's also a special advisor to the Dodgers, which is the cool job nowadays. Brody Van Wagenen's got 15 special advisors to the Mets. So.
Jessica Mendoza being one of them.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know why, but yes, okay. So she does what you do.
Right. Hey, Chase, good morning.
Good morning. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Well, thanks, and thanks for being here.
Well, don't try to suck up to us now.
This is a weird one for me, I got to be honest. Because I was that guy. I'm matured now. I'm in my later 30s. But I was that guy who couldn't stand you on the field.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
And I would boo the hell out of you. I hated the slide and all that. Now, I knew you were a great ball player. If you stunk, I wouldn't have had those type of emotions. So that's got to make you feel good. But when an entire fan base, like the Mets fan base, dislikes you, do you take pride in that, or is that a weird thing for you to process?
I mean, it's a little bit weird.
Yeah.
Obviously, playing in professional sport, you know that you're going to have fans that just don't like you. And we had some pretty good games against the Mets over the years. The rivalry that we had was pretty special. 2007 to 2010 were pretty fun years to play against each other. Yeah, so it's not the most comforting feeling in the world, but it is what it is.
So I feel like Chipper Jones loved it. He didn't have the slide thing, and we'll get to that, but Chipper Jones seemed to really embrace that. And then the Mets fans sort of embraced him back, so much so, he names his kid Shea, and they give him a video tribute. The Mets gave him a freaking video tribute when he retired. So, I guess it just depends on your personality and how you handle those things.
Yeah, I was, growing up on the West Coast, baseball's a little bit different out there. Growing up here on the East Coast, the fans are into it. They're intense. They're wild. They love you or they hate you. And obviously they didn't fare.
Yeah, they don't like
well.
you. They don't like you at all. And I can tell you right now, you're not getting a video tribute anytime soon at Citi Field. That's for sure. So when you go out to dinner in New York, do you actually put the reservation under your name or no?
That's something I let my wife handle.
Okay,
I'm not quite
fine.
sure what she does.
All right, because I was just wondering, if you've ever run into Met fans when you're out to dinner here in New York, and has anybody ever confronted you?
No, I have not. Actually.
Nothing, really?
No.
Wow, that's kind of interesting, especially after what happened in 2015 when you slid into second base and broke our second baseman's leg.
Yeah, shortstop.
Shortstop, yeah. But the point being is that you went in and you went in hard. And
yeah, I did what I did for the past 10 years. Slide in hard to second base. I'm a second base myself, so I know that you got to.
You created a rule change.
The rule was going to be changed regardless. But yes, I understand it. Looking back on it, knowing that his leg was going to break, I would have changed it a bit. I would have probably gone in a little bit easier. And that's one thing you do not want to do is hurt an opposing player. But the intent was to go in and break up the double play. Definitely was not the intent to hurt him.
So when you know that retribution is coming, that's got to be just a bizarre feeling.
No, not necessarily. I came up with old school coaches with a kind of an old school mentality, tick for a tat. So
yeah,
I anticipated being hit at some point. I wasn't going to be upset about it. If one of our guys got hurt in that same way, I would want that guy to be hit by a pitch. It's just part of the program. So I was anticipating. I was waiting for it. I wasn't going to be upset about it. I was going to take my base and do what I did over 200 times. Just go to first.
Talking to Chase Utley on Boomer and Gio on the Fan CBS Sports Network. You mentioned the old school stuff, and now you have this divide with the bat flip. You have and Major League Baseball, by the way, is on the side of the younger players celebrating. They like that. When you're now, you're working with MLB, you're working still in an organization. You're a little bit older. Where do you stand on the old school, new school bat flip stuff?
I'm torn. I am. Like you said, I was a guy that put my head down and ran around the bases. I didn't want to show up the other team. I didn't want to create more, give myself more attention than I deserved. But I get it, and I understand why guys do it. Guys are excited. So the game is slowly evolving, changing. In my opinion, the players are better than they were 10 years ago. The pitching now, you guys see it on a nightly basis. Guys are throwing hard. Guys are throwing 97, 98. Everybody coming out of the bullpen is throwing hard. That wasn't the case back in 2008. So I'm on the fence because I've played with some guys with both the Phillies and the Dodgers that flip bats. Didn't make me mad, but I didn't want to do that myself.
Well, you can understand why players are reacting to it because there's still some players that just don't feel good about it. And I think the old school player is still having a hard time with the separating of oneself. I want to talk to you about the money of baseball because of what Bryce Harper and Manny Machado finally got in their free agency years. That a couple of years there that the free agency market was down and still is down. I mean, guys like Craig Kimbrell can't find a job. Guys like Dallas Keuchel still haven't signed a contract.
Right.
What in your eyes, what is going on now that you work for the Dodgers on the other side of the fence?
It's a good question. I think players are getting better. I think teams are doing a better job of evaluating talent and finding ways to, pick guys out of the weeds that can essentially do the same thing a guy that makes $3 or $4 or $5 million can do. The scouting is better. There's a lot more information. There's StatCast and all these different things are giving you so much more information than what we had, 10 years ago.
Do you think the players are relieved that Machado and Harper got their money, and of course Mike Trout got his money?
Of course.
But they're still discussed that other guys still can't get the money that they think that they deserve.
Know thyself. I was told that a long time ago. You have to know what you're able to do, what you're capable of doing, and also put yourself on that path to be successful. And I think that also counts when you're negotiating a contract. You have to understand where you fit in and where what your value is. And nowadays, I think teams are doing a better job of understanding everyone's value.
Do you see the Harper and Philly marriage lasting as long as that contract? Do you think that was a good mix and a good fit for Bryce?
Listen, Bryce is a hard-nosed player. He, all the games we played against him, he played really hard. And there's one place you need to do that. That's in Philadelphia. And so far, the fans are really loving what he's doing. Obviously, he's very passionate and a great talent. So if that continues, I see that relationship going great.
How involved were the Dodgers in the Bryce Harper sweepstakes? Because we heard the reports, but how serious did it get?
That's way over my pay grade.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So as a special advisor, you get the phone call like, Bryce Harper, yay or nay? You're like, yeah, of course. What are you kidding me? See you later.
Yeah, I didn't get that. I did not get that phone call, but
okay.
Yes.
All right, you're here on behalf of Scott's in the Field Refurbishment Program, which is renovating youth baseball and softball fields across the country. Tell us about that, because obviously getting kids playing baseball for the rest of time is crucial to the game. So what are you doing with Scott's?
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge. I think it's important. I was talking about it earlier. The conditions of some fields nowadays aren't great. I was lucky enough to play on a beautiful field growing up, and I want my kids. I have two boys, 7 and 4. I want my kids to have that same ability to grow up on fields that are safe, that are fun, that you enjoy actually going to. And Scott's over the past 4 years has done a great job of finding these fields that need help. This year they've given out four grants. Team here, a field here in New York, one in Chicago, one in Oklahoma, and also one in Allentown, Pennsylvania, which hits home to me, being close to Philadelphia. So they've done an amazing job of just fixing these fields and making them a safe place that kids can hang out in. I have, like I said, 2 boys that I want outside all the time. I want to limit their screen time. I think that's important as a young parent, is to recognize that being outside is important. I grew up outside all the time.
In California, you can't be outside all the time. That's right, exactly right. So let me ask, did you like when you were getting ready to play the Mets and you were coming to either Citi Field or Shea Stadium? I mean, like, did you just want to piss us off or what? I mean, like, did you love playing against the Mets?
I did love playing against them. The atmosphere was great. They were loud. They were intense. They were obviously didn't like us, but that created more adrenaline. So I think that can elevate your game a bit. Mm-hmm. So all those games were really exciting because of that. And yes, there was plenty of fans. I remember coming off the field one time, and there's a boy. He was 10 years old, maybe.
Yeah, that's what we start him young here. Yeah.
10 years old. And as I'm walking in the dugout, he looks me right in the eyes, and he goes, "I hope you blank and die."
Wow.
And I looked right at his dad, and like, oh my, I can't believe this. He's 10 years old. he said this. Maybe his dad's going to say it. And his dad repeated the same thing as he's pointed at me.
Oh, no. Wow.
And I just said, okay.
Well, we started young, Chase, and, listen, you touch. Yeah,
that's right.
You touch a nerve here in New York, I can tell you that. You seem like a decent guy, a fun guy to be around, even though you're kind of quiet. You're more quiet than I thought you would be. But I mean, it's got to. You're a villain. I mean, that's just the way it is.
Here in New York, I'm a villain.
Yes, that's fine.
And you don't embrace it, because we had a hockey player. I don't know if you're a hockey fan, but Sean Avery joined us earlier in the week. And Sean Avery is just that antagonist, and he loves it. He's looking to fight people in the streets, right? And he needs this to fuel him. You're the exact opposite of that. You would like it if Mets fans liked you. That's the sense that I'm getting from you.
I appreciate the passionate part about the fans and the Mets not really taking kind to me. I don't like it. I don't hate it. I felt like it propelled our game a little bit.
See, I was going to open up the phones and see if Met fans had something to say to you, thinking that maybe you would actually like that. But I'm thinking you're not going to like that, and I don't want to do that to you.
You can do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I like
All
that.
right, what do you think, Al?
What do you think, Al?
You want to give it a shot? Al's our producer.
We could try. Give it a see. I'm not going to put dopes through, but if they have a legitimate thing.
Al's a legitimate producer.
Right.
He's not going to put a dope through, hopefully. Every now and again, a dope does get through.
So if you're a Mets fan, want to talk to Chase Utley, have something that's not, I hope you bleeping die, because we're not going to have any of that. But, hey, we'll start. I'll make you feel good, though.
Yes.
We're going to start with this guy, Chris in Staten Island. Chris, go ahead.
What's up, guys?
Hey.
So, diehard Mets fan, and I made the mistake of naming my son two names of two hated Met rivals, and his name is Chase Harper.
What the hell are you doing?
Hey, Chris, how you doing, man?
What's up, Chase? I didn't realize it until I signed the papers, and then everyone's giving me crap about it, and he was like, yeah, but, if you don't want to call him that, you can always call him his nickname, Chipper.
Right. Okay. Middle name Clemens, right? We do have a guy here who works on our staff who did name his son after you because he's a Phillies fan. So that guy's going to want a picture with you later. So that'll make you feel good. So we'll see if we get a couple of phone calls of Mets fans. So baseball is something that you're never going to get away from.
Right.
You are going. This is going to be part of your life for the rest of time. There's certain guys though that once they're done playing, they want no part of it. They want to go do something else. Why do you need the game in your life?
I'm a baseball rat. It's in my blood. I love it. I enjoyed it. I was a student of the game. I wanted to be the best player I could be. I felt like I got probably more out of my ability than I should have. And I want to give back. The relationships that I made in Los Angeles last couple of years were pretty special. Young team, a lot of talent. Try to help them move in the right direction. And I want to continue that relationship.
This whole analytics wave, and the Dodgers are at the forefront of it with Dave Roberts and everything else, and the way you guys manage or the way they manage games and things of that nature. Do you like that, or do you understand that whole impact or the impact that it's had on you guys?
Yes, it was obviously different than what I was accustomed to, but I see the importance in it now. I see the games that we won because of that strategy.
Mm-hmm. Because it wasn't really that way in Philadelphia as much as...
No, it wasn't that way 10 years ago, period.
Right.
It was the strategic aspect. There was a little bit there, but not as much. There's just more information now to gather that can give you essentially
Is it
an
overload,
answer.
though, for the manager?
It really depends on the guy. Dave does a great job of taking in a bunch of information, filtering it, and using it when he feels like he needs to. But it is important, especially managing a bullpen is difficult. Nowadays the matchup situation is a real thing. But I do see the benefit in using some analytics.
All right, let's go to Antonio in East Meadow. What's happening, Antonio?
Hey, what's up, boys?
Hey, man.
Hey,
Chase Utley. Let me just say this, bro. You are a villain to me. You ruined my high school life. I was in high school, the wheelhouse, 07, 08, 09, 10. It was awful. Obviously, I respect the hell out of you as a baseball fan, but I also hate you.
thank you, Antonio.
I thought that slide was second. You're a hard baseball player, but it was stupid. There's a difference between smart and a stupid slide. It was stupid. But you know what? You didn't play in games 3 and 4, and we got you out in the last inning in game 5, so that was fun. And I hate you. And,
all right, we got the point there, Antonio. Jeez, I want to ask about that collapse, and it's a Mets collapse from our perspective. When did you think that was a real thing in 2007, where you could actually overcome that deficit and get it done?
That's a great question. We focused on our. It's a weird thing. We obviously paid attention how the Mets were doing, but our focus was on trying to figure out what we need to do to win essentially every single game. I remember it was, I think, 17 back.
Game was seven back with 17 to go.
Yes.
And we lost Billy Wagner.
Yeah.
Yes. That's basically what happened.
Yes. So, I mean, we played awesome baseball. The Mets played terribly at that time, obviously.
Oh, don't we all know it?
Yes.
And so, yeah, it was a little surreal. The adrenaline, the action we had at the stadium the last week was crazy. The fans were going nuts. And I remember that last day that we were obviously scoreboard watching a little bit. And I remember playing defense, and I think the Mets game finished, and they lost, and we had a decent lead. I just remember the crowd going crazy. This like sense of calmness came over me. Like, holy, we're gonna do this.
Yeah.
Richie in Franklin Square. What's up, Richie?
Hey, good morning, guys. Good morning, Mr. Utley. I got to tell you, as much as I hated you as a Met fan, I always wished we had a guy that played as hard as you played, even though you broke our shortstop's leg. We never had a guy that played as 110% like you did. So for that, I'm glad, but I did hate you, I got to say it.
Thanks, Richie.
Well, there's some respect there, though.
Right.
They got to appreciate that. I didn't expect that.
Yeah, me neither. Paul in Brooklyn. What's going on, Paul?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey.
Hey, before I kill you, I want to know, did you know that the Pepsi Porch was renamed the Utley Porch by us Mets fans, all the home runs you hit up there?
Yes, I did know that.
Go ahead. I wanted to ask you one question after that.
Go ahead. What else you got?
Okay, and then when you broke Reuben Tejada's leg and pretty much ended the guy's career, how the hell did you not get suspended? And do you think he should have been suspended? You know, obviously you're going to say no, but do you think on an outside he should have been suspended for that?
No, I do not think. That's why I appealed it. No, I slid hard. Listen, if his leg doesn't break, we're not having this conversation. I'm not the villain.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we collided at the opportune time for unopportune time for his leg, and it's obviously unfortunate. I would do it over again if I could, but no, I don't think I should have been suspended.
I don't remember. It's years ago now, but did you reach out to him at any point and have a conversation, or no, to Ruben Todd?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, and how did that go?
There was no conversation. I tried to reach out to him.
Oh, okay.
It didn't go so well.
It didn't go so well. All right.
I sent him it doesn't matter.
Well, no, it does.
Yeah,
actually, it does matter.
Like
you sent him a text or a gift basket or something, or
no? I tried to get a hold of him through David Wright. He passed on messages. I wanted to talk to him. He didn't want to talk to me. I sent him a very nice bottle of tequila to say sorry.
Well, it's kind of like me and John Randall.
Yeah,
right?
I know. Yeah, so John Randall was one of my favorite players in football. Little did I know that he almost tried to kill Boomer out on the football field. We have him on at the Super Bowl. These guys are about to come to blows. I'm all excited because it's like my favorite player of all time. My radio partner.
Not going so well.
Yeah, it wasn't going so well.
No.
All right, last one here for Chase. He's been great. He's here representing the Scottsfield refurbishment program. Really a great sport. Going through all these callers. Callie in Connecticut. What's going on, Callie?
Hey. Well, Mr. Utley, I just want to say to you real quick,
yeah,
I do appreciate that you've worked with dogs and kids. I've heard about that. Good for you. But that's the last thing I'm going to tell you that I really respect about you. If you came out here and you were telling me, you know, I liked being the villain, I didn't really care, it was fun for me, it was part of the game, might have even respected that a little bit more, but it doesn't really seem like you care about anything. So I just need you to know, as Mets fans, how annoying it was to come and watch you. I mean, I respect that you're a good player. I understand that. But when you took out my shortstop in the playoffs, that wasn't about talent. That was just being dirty. And I don't care how long you tell me that was just you being old school. That was you being dirty, because that's what you do. And I'm sorry, I mean, you had to.
See you, sweetheart.
Yeah, that's nice. Well, hey, look, everybody's got a take on it, right?
Of course.
Well, that's the way it should be.
Yeah. See you, sweetheart. That is amazing. There he is. There he is. Man, you know what? That's very, very kind of you to do that, because you could have said no very easily, and you sat through that, and we appreciate that because it's entertaining radio, and Mets fans, it's sort of cathartic for them.
Yeah,
so.
I get it.
Okay.
All good.
Very good.
All
All
good,
right,
guys.
Chase, good luck.
Guys, appreciate it. Thanks.
Is there a
Thank you, man.
website here
Thanks.
that people can go check this out? Anybody? Nothing? No? Okay, very good. Scott's.
MLB.com.
Oh, MLB.com. It's easy as that. And then the Scott's Field Refurbishment Program. And best of luck in your special advisor role. And you're going to have a great post-playing career. I mean, you're totally relaxed. You're the man. You're working in baseball.
Less stressed now.
Yes.
I'm not playing, for sure.
Well,
You
maybe
got
you'll
it
be
all.
a manager someday. No, you don't think so?
No, thanks.
No,
You don't
okay.
want that, huh?
I don't want to travel. I want
Yeah,
to
yeah,
chill.
yeah, yeah.
Right.
Enough.
Well, you got kids.
Enough.
You got
Yes.
seven,
I got
7-year-old,
7 and
4-year-old.
4-year-old. I want to hang with them.
All right, sounds good. All right.